Welcome everybody back to the BSxchange, episode 12, rolling along nicely. Hey Chris, how you doing, mate? What's been happening?
Nah, not much, mate. You?
Not too much, mate. Not as much as what was happening on this day 60 odd years ago, mate.
Well,
I come across a news article this morning. So on this day in 1962, do you remember the show The Jetsons?
Yes.
Okay, so that first aired on ABC television. It was the first coloured televised show on the ABC.
Whatever.
I don't know about ever, mate. I didn't go that far down the rabbit hole, but on ABC it was. And so in 1962, they were predicting we'd be flying around in cars and have holograms and robot slaves and all that. I feel like we're not too far off. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Donuts.
What
Another one of these episodes. Okay.
No. Well, did they give you... Hang on a minute. Did they... What's that?
Turkish coffee.
Okay,
I'm going to need it today, mate. No,
but surely they... So did they give you a... like when their prediction was?
So the Jetsons itself was set in 2062. So we're what?
There you go.
42 years away.
Well,
I reckon we're on track. We're on track.
Yeah, no, I don't reckon we are, but that's all right. That's not a bad one that you've come up with. But
you got anything for me? You got something?
I've
got
got
be good,
something.
Mate. Want to be better than my Jetsons one?
What about William Bumper Harrisway?
Personally, I don't know who that is, but
yes, he's a one-legged man.
Okay,
right? He's a one-legged man.
Yep.
And he created the first escalator.
Really?
On this day in London. And
so the escalator was invented by a man with one leg.
There you go. And
so I always assumed that the escalator was created for lazy people, but this was created for the poor bastard that only had one leg.
And this is why he did it. And no one believed him. And everyone was standing around the first London mall shopping centre and did not believe. And then you know what happened? Old Bumper jumped on.
Just levitated upwards like a fucking magician.
He went up and down and everyone went, well, if it's good enough for the one-legged man, I'll do it. Next minute, escalators everywhere.
So what's his name again? Something Bumper.
That's his nickname, is Bumper. So it was
is that because he was bumping into shit with one leg?
Oh, no, you didn't. That's fucking horrible. Fucking horrible, Brent.
Is that how he got it?
I don't know.
Oh, shit. No, but like, old mate Bumper.
Yes. He did, yes.
You're telling me he's responsible for the laziness of today's society?
Well, I use the stairs.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, I wouldn't have put you down as a stair user, to be quite honest.
No, I just stand there and just wave to people and all that.
Yeah, but what an interesting fact, eh?
So you can have your little Jetsons, but old William the Bumperer.
Yeah, I'm way more interested in that.
My man William. So good on him. So he created the first ever escalator that worked.
I never.
And he was the first on it. No, you wouldn't have. Hey, come here for knowledge, Brent.
Mate,
you're going to have to lift your game. You're going to have to lift your game.
Wow. Every time I get on an escalator now, I'll think of old man Bumper.
And you'll giggle. So you're going to be that guy that's going up the escalator giggling and your own joke about the one-legged man bumping into shit. And everyone's just going to look at you like a weirdo. What's this guy giggling on the escalator for?
Fucking old Bumper.
Anyway.
So
there you go. Good. So I've brought something to the table today, haven't I?
That's remarkable. You must have the day off today.
I have. I've just been searching through the old Google sphere.
Yeah.
And come up with William the Bumperer. So
I like it, mate. We'll have to do some homework and try to come up with something to top that each week.
Yeah. So you have to.
Yes.
Because I'll nail it.
We'll try. I'll start it off next week with what I come up with, and you do your own, and we'll see which one's more impressive.
We'll put it to a vote as well for the people on there on the whatever we're on.
Yeah,
and they can ride it
at this stage.
That went dry, didn't it? Hey, that lasted 2 weeks with just Timmy commenting, and now he doesn't even comment anymore.
No, people. Yeah, boy, you can blame old Bumper for that. For the laziness of today's society. People can't
will
even bloody type a comment.
No, I love it.
Press a subscription button.
Yeah, but we're over that, aren't we? Not really, apparently. No. Not really. Brent's not over it at all.
Not at all. Anyway, let's move on to greener pastures. Speaking of greeny, our mate, we've got to cover this.
And this is going to be on here every week. So for people that don't like to listen to it, and that's fine. But we need to throw him, make people understand what's happening in our life. That's why we're doing it. So.
And we're teaching people how not to gamble by portraying Daniel's less than impressive gambling streak. So you want to kick it off with the 18-leg multi?
So he once again come at us with an 18-leg multi, and it's got to the point now where, because I love him. I do love him.
Oh, I do too.
But we have a side message going every time they come through now, don't we? We have a bit of fun with it.
Yeah, I'd visit him if I could.
Yeah, he did break COVID rules today.
I think that's all hearsay.
Yeah, is it? I've got a photo. Anyway, that was good. I didn't know what was going on at the start in that photo. I thought he was shaving your dog's fur. Because that's the deaf and blind one that can't move.
Yeah, no, that's a photo back from when we got out of first lockdown.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we haven't got out of it though.
No, we did the first time. We're out for a couple of weeks. We got some freedom there.
Oh, and he come around then, did he? Yeah,
he came around and watched the Essendon game. We lost as usual.
Okay, who was that against?
I don't know.
Yes, anyway, so let's get back to the multi. I've got you. I could have kept going for days with that. I would eventually got you. So he picked 14. It was a 14-leg multi. He went for 14 straight NFL teams, which is the gridiron.
Oh, no, So he did an 18-legger, then he followed up with the 14-legger.
Didn't ask either, just used me free bet as well.
Yeah, just use your free bet.
Yeah, he didn't muck around.
No. Can I use this before we could reply? He's put a 14-legger on.
But to the fans out there, he hit 13 in a row. But there was great ticks everywhere.
Were we elated?
I started following it.
Our encouragement
I've never watched
skills,
a game in my life.
Mate, we were encouraging him. We were behind him. We were backing the boy. And
yes, we were.
He got 13.
So, and this is where, so without waiting, he put the free bet on, which means you don't have a cash out option.
Yeah.
So that's one side. Whereas we probably would have said, mate, just take 5 out of the kitty, whatever, you know.
Yeah. I believe I did say that.
Yes, you did, which means we would have had a cash out option. Yeah. So we come into the last game, which was the New Orleans Saints versus the Rams. Raiders.
Raiders.
Both
start with an R, mate.
It does. And the Saints were very short. Yes. One of the shorter teams.
Yep.
Matter of fact. Got out to a 10-0 lead.
Yep.
Then got out to 17-7.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. And at that point, I thought, the man's a genius.
Oh, mate, I couldn't have been further up his ass.
And then the real Greeny come on board, didn't he?
The real luck and circumstance that is Daniel Green and gambling came through.
Yeah.
And the Raiders...
We just watched the Raiders, who haven't won a game since 1944.
Just diabolical, wasn't it?
34-20 or something they ended up winning, and the multi was gone, and that was it. And then Greeny gave us a nice message how he was quitting Hunters Club, which on the side message from me and you, we were happy about. We said, finally, we got rid of him.
Oh, mate, I was elated.
But then he said, no, I'm not really till tomorrow. So we were flat. We're as flat.
I'm still disappointed, mate. I thought the boys' luck had turned.
Never.
Like who picks 13 legs in a round of NFL? And the last one that's meant to get across the line. He had 3 other games where his team was down by double digits in the closing minutes, and they got over the line. Yeah. I thought he's got the touch of gold. He can't lose.
So I wonder if he thanked Clint Tyler for all those bets.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, isn't it? So
he didn't do it.
I've had proper intel on this. Actually, I poked further, and guess who picked the last one?
Daniel Green.
Guess who picked most of the first 13?
That would be Clint Tyler, and there it is.
There it
so
is.
He went out. So Clint said, "This is what would happen." Clint would have gone. So what we should do here is these 13 will get up, and Greeny would have gone, yeah, and he would have punched it in, and this is good, and then he would have looked over to the corner there, and Clint sort of would have been walking away, and he would have gone, not enough odds, need another one.
Exactly.
I'll go out on my own.
Yeah.
Can't fly like an eagle when you're surrounded by turkeys, Brent.
Mate,
it.
so like I've given up at this point. Our strategy's working. Even if you are putting $100 on for $1.20 return, I don't care. It's working. It's building. It's rolling.
Hang on a minute. So let's just go back to that a little bit. You do care until it wins, and then you give me a high five.
Exactly.
You've just abused me all week. What do you mean? You're going rogue, Smitty? You're going rogue. Oh, Tommy Hawkins kicked it. Good on you.
I believe I just said I don't care except for the fact that your strategy's working.
And I told you it would. I've run out of things to bet on, though, because there's no footy.
So Chris put a anytime goal kick bet on Tomahawk.
Hang on. Hang on. We're going to tell the story.
With a return
Don't throw me. I'm not Danny Green. Don't throw me under the bus.
A return of $1.30. It was beautiful.
Don't.
It got up.
I started.
Now
I started with Listen. I started with $23.25. Yeah. And now it's up to $60.37. And there was one in the middle there where I put on Tom Hawkins at $1.03.
Yeah,
and had $24 on it. Well, one, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's all about statistics. So it's one more than Greeny's fucking got.
Yeah, so that's good. But we're going to week off this week because the finals start next week.
Yep. So let's go through it quickly. Who are you on? Who's your sure things, and what game are you looking forward to the most?
I don't think there is a sure thing.
Right. Okay. Richmond?
Not sure thing.
Right. You reckon Brisbane might break the camel's back?
It's going to happen.
Break the duck's egg.
It's the Benny Earnshaw effect. So it's going to happen. The more you back, remember I did this to you last week or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Keep back in red. Eventually it'll come out.
Yeah.
And I think there'll be there's no pressure for Brisbane this week because they've got a double chance.
Expected to lose.
I think this is the week they can win it. If they play them in a prelim or something, I don't think they're going to win that. But they don't play them in a prelim because they're going to cross different paths. So, yeah, I think it's anyone's game this weekend. I really do, and we'll go through our tips later on of who exactly we're going to tip. But it's going to be interesting to see. I think what styles hold up, and if teams go back to how they're meant to be. Like Geelong have changed their game plan we've spoken about this in the last few weeks since Richmond gave them a touch up.
Yeah.
They go back to controlling the footy.
Yeah, a lot more hesitant, not backing themselves.
Nah, and a lot of handball, like Collingwood the other night.
Deplorable.
You got Jordan Goey standing in the goal square.
Unnecessary handballs when you can. Yeah, when you got
6 of them.
When you got
in the phone box.
Yeah, you got a long kick that won't give the defence time to get back, and instead you handball them backward, and it looks coached.
Yeah,
it looks very instructed, like that's what they've been overly instructed to do. And I think sometimes they're not. Their decision making is once they turn around, they get crunched, and then they handball it to another guy, and he's already got 2 blokes on him, and that sort of thing just falls into Richmond and Port Adelaide's game plans.
100%. But I can understand it if you're on a half-back flank and it's a stoppage and you try and handball your way out of it. You just want to centre clearance and you start going sideways. Like, just kick the ball.
Yeah, and you've got the one that really
Mason Cox a chance.
Yeah, the one that really stood out to me was who was it? Crisp out on the half-forward flank in the last quarter.
It looks like Alan DeGeneres. Is that the one?
So he's out on the half-forward flank last quarter. Pies were coming.
Yes.
And he won the contested ball. Straight ahead of him, 45 both ways. There was no opponent within that vicinity.
Yeah.
Long kick to the 30, 20 out, give the Goey and Cox a chance. They're one-on-one against their opponents. He saw it, stopped, prop, turned backwards, handballed to a player who was immediately crunched, holding the ball. free kick the other way, port kick a quick transition goal. Like, it's sometimes the difference between just that split decision. Just sometimes it costs you a game, and I saw it a lot with Collingwood on the weekend.
I think the days of blokes just playing the game are just gone, aren't they? They're coached.
They're so directed. Yeah, they're so directed. Exactly.
Like just back yourself in, and if you turn the ball. But then this is the problem. So since Clarko and that came in, teams are just so concerned about getting scored against rather than scoring.
Yeah.
So they don't want to turn the ball over up if Cox drops the mark, and then they've got all that work in, so they don't do it, and they kick the goal anyway.
Yeah,
crack at getting forward 50.
I think you got to take your odds. You're probably going to have more chance of kicking a goal with your big forwards 1-on-1 and less defenders down there that have pushed back than you are by turning backwards into a handball, 3-4 link more unnecessary handballs, waiting for that perfect option up forward, which isn't presenting itself because the other team's got a chance to put bloody 16 players behind the ball.
Yeah, and the worst thing is that you got a bloke down there, and people say whatever they like about Amazing Cox, but he's 7 foot.
Yeah.
So if you just kick it in the air, a panicked rush kick in the air, he's going to bring it to ground. He's not going to get outmarked.
Exactly.
And then the other bloke you've got down there is, beside Dustin Martin, the best one-on-one
forward.
I think anyway. So but it's interesting. But
like sometimes, like you said, sometimes obviously it's necessary and needed. But I think I think they're overdoing it. A lot of clubs.
Strange,
but
strange. I don't really understand it. But like I said, it's going to be interesting. I don't know how I think Bulldogs will punch us up. We're a fake top 8 side. We're fake as shit.
I think you played pretty well the other night.
Yeah, but GWS are cooked. They're cooked. But this is my favourite time of year, Brent, because the trades start. Like, I love listening to play movement. If someone said to me, you can go into an AFL club and choose a job of your choice, it would be list management.
Okay.
I find it staggering, mate, trying to work lists and put team lists together and stuff like that. And I love trade period and listen to rumours and all that sort of shit. I love it. So that's heating up, which is good for me to listen to. So
I wouldn't mind cutting the oranges. That'd be a good job.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that. You're not very good at that. So you do it at Sky.
Not bad, boy. Not bad, boy.
Yes. Very good. Very good.
What else have you been doing this week, mate? Got any video games playing, doing anything?
Yes.
Any hobbies?
Yes. So the big whizzer, big Mick Kalviscus, he's got me addicted to 2K21 NBA.
The video game, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, and I've spent a lot of hours on that, and I've got what was that, Phase 4?
Oh, no, it's just playing video games, mate. It's all right. You're a full-grown adult.
You like basketball? You like basketball?
I do like basketball, yeah.
Yeah, so you still watch it? You enjoy it?
I have been watching it, yes. Yeah. So, I personally think it was better back in the 90s. Like a lot of things. I grew up in the 90s. I think most sports, I enjoyed them a lot more in the 90s. They weren't overdone. Movies, music, toys, video games. I think we, as a human race, we reached a peak of perfection in the 90s. And ever since then, I think we've tried to go a bit overboard with a lot of things and diluted them, and they've just become bland, boring, over-umpired, overdone. Yeah.
So you sound a little bit like Cletus off The Simpsons. Back in my day.
There's another one, The Simpsons, mate. Another show from the 90s.
So I think, you just need to grow up a little bit, but that's all right. Because I suppose I do understand a little bit, Brent, because, Lego was in the 90s because we were 7, I think.
Yeah.
Back then. I think that's what it was. So, you sort of got to push past the 90s, I think. Obviously, what I want you to do is come up with the best thing from the 90s. Each episode, I want to hear something, because you've just given me a whole range of things, but I want to know your top 5 things that have changed next episode. All right. So your top 5. So if it's NBA, and tell me why that it's changed so much. Because I think a lot of the modern day players would handle their own in the 90s footy.
Oh, for sure. But there's certain aspects of both eras, as with all other things, that were better back then and are better now. And some things that they do now aren't as good as what they did back then. Some things that they did back then aren't as good as what they do now. We've discussed this previously.
Yeah, that sounded like a tongue twister. Seashells by the
seashore. I wouldn't be able to remember what I just said. And I'm not sure if I even said it in the right order.
Yeah, this is why you did it on a podcast with a dummy, isn't it? They're going to say things and get away with it.
Yeah, but so like, AFL, for example, back in the 90s, obviously wasn't as umpired as heavily as it is today. I enjoyed that facet of the game a lot more than what I do today.
Do you think a lot of it's got to do with the media and social media and how much it's scrutinised and how many replays there are of things and how paranoid umpires are of actually not making and not missing and all that?
Absolutely.
Do you think that's an element?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. The spotlight effect sort of thing.
Yeah.
As with everything.
Yeah. But that's a challenge that I issue to you. So next week I want to know.
What can I come up with a toy of the night, a popular toy of the 90s?
Go for it. Have you got an example for today?
I do, but I don't have the. I want to do a bit of research.
Like William the Bumperer.
Yeah, I'll provide you with some facts.
About a toy?
Yes.
What sort of fact? Or can you give me an example? Because I don't really understand what you need facts for.
Well, like I might do some research on what it costs when it was first sold to the public and what it would be worth today.
I like that.
Yeah.
And why? And ask why. And don't ask. Find out why. So I said to you, turtle.
Yes.
Why would it cost more now than it did in the 90s?
Yeah. So we can get into that. And,
that's good by you.
Maybe who created it? Did you have one? Did you have an experience with this toy? Not the ones that you use today, but
aggressive.
Well, you and your butt plugs, but anyway.
Don't knock it till you tried it, Brent.
Another story. I've just spilled my fucking coffee. That's all.
No, you deserve I'll tell you why.
That's on the chair. Debbie's going to lose her mind. I'll get boxed up.
Probably because it's got lion's mane in it, mate. That's probably why.
Oh, shit.
What else have you been doing? You had today off, did you? So what have you been doing? Research?
Yeah, did some workouts. Went for a run. Nice. I've done 4 runs in the last 7 days.
For any reason in particular?
Pre-season. So, coming out of retirement. Indoor footy, mate, starts in a month.
Who are you playing with?
I don't know. I just made it up.
I would definitely play that with you.
Yeah, indoor footy would be good fun, wouldn't it?
No, it would be good fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should actually do a team when we're allowed out of our houses.
Be good to get an invite, so hopefully I do.
Yeah, well, I don't know anyone that does it, but maybe we make our own team up.
Well, Greeny will play.
Yeah, well, I was speaking to Greeny earlier, and
on the phone.
Yeah, on the phone, and he was saying when we're out of this, he wants to start a podcast, a new one. So a different one branched out of this one with him involved, where we sit down together.
The three of us.
The three of us, yeah.
Lucky I was invited then.
Yeah, definitely the three of us. And I told him to come up with a name.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so his first choice, which I don't mind this one because we can build a studio around this one. Podcast in a van with Brent, Chris, and Dan.
Fuck, he's an idiot. Fucking hell. We just sit in the back of a fucking van.
No, you deck your walls out so it looks like a van.
What? What do you mean? What, your house walls?
Yeah. Yeah.
What, and you turn it into a van?
Yeah, mate.
I mean, kick the shit out of you.
Oh, yeah, it was just the first choice. Relax.
Okay. So that's horrific. So we'll come up with a better one anyway if we're going to do that. That's no good.
No, not impressed.
No, not at all. So
Right. Okay, scratch that one. I did read an interesting thing that might interest you, actually, and I wanted to pick your brain on this. So I come across a news article on the old Google News there.
Okay.
Okay, so a bridezilla. All right, let me just get this up quickly and then get this.
A bridezilla.
Yeah, a bridezilla.
Yeah.
Sent out her RSVPs, okay, for the wedding.
Okay.
Now, she had on here a list. All right. I'll read this out to you word for word, okay? I'm going to read this out for you word for word so you really get a feel of this. So
I fucked this up, Fred. Just so you know. Whiskers. I've written the wrong one down.
Oh, no. That's all right. I got two for you. So that we may prepare your preferred dinner, please circle your gift level and indicate a meal of choice for each person in your party. So, for example, it has on the list, if you plan on giving us $250, you can have the roast chicken. If you give us $25 to $500, you can have the above choices or steak or salmon. If you give us up to $1,000, you get a choice of the filet mignon or the lobster tails. And then over $1,000 to $2,500, you can circle yourself a 2-pound lobster plus souvenir champagne goblet. Now, my question to you, mate. First of all, if Rhiannon, because if the listeners aren't aware, my lovely co-host here, Chris Smith, is getting married next year, taking the plunge. Now,
you're going to nail it. Yep,
you will nail it. Now, if Rhiannon comes to you and says, I want to make an RSVP list like this, which she wouldn't, because that list is just ridiculous, let's be honest.
Is it though? I kind of like it.
Okay, well, if you're a fan of the said list and trying to point people into guilt of what amount of money they're going to give, and whichever amount of money they give equates to the quality of food item they get on the night of the reception. My question to you is, what amounts of money would you list on there, and what foods would you have next to them? So, for example, if you've got a $5 to $50 wishing well gift of cash.
But that's not enough. So you'd have 2-minute noodles for them.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to get into. So, So say you list $50, it's 2-minute noodles. You think that gives them 2-minute noodles?
That's piss poor. They probably won't even come. Like, I'll actually, I'm opening the gifts prior to the wedding, prior to you being seated.
Okay, all right.
I give hundreds. All right, minimum 100.
Okay, so what will a $100 gift get me on my plate at your wedding?
No, you'll probably just get a badge.
A badge?
You won't get food, mate. Bring your own food before you come, mate. So the money's going in my pocket.
But this is your list you're sending out. So what would $500 on your list get me? Do I get baked beans on toast? What are you giving me, mate? What's the quality here?
500 is that's a
dinner.
Yeah, so 500 will be tough for a lot of it.
Fuck for that.
500 will be. See, this is the thing though. So I sat down with Rhiannon, and the only people that are coming to our wedding are people that have got money, because we want good coin to come our way. So if you were on the list, like I was like, oh, that guy's tight. Danny Green, not coming.
Yeah, right.
So that's how I did the list.
Okay,
but I think,
and so you're doing it by status,
net value
status. I like that's a good move. So even if you don't like the person, but they're rolling in Benjamin Franklin's, they're getting a gig.
And I consider them
they're probably in the wedding party.
That's why you're there. Come on, mate. I'm just using you for my gift.
Oh, that's a great move. I need to get divorced so I can play that move.
Yeah, that's why you don't, but because I won't get invited.
No, definitely not.
Shit, I live in a bungalow.
No.
Fucking
hell, that's beautiful.
No, but I'll tell you what, you'd be filthy. In all seriousness, with all the jokes aside.
Yeah. Getting that RSVP letter.
Imagine that. I wouldn't go.
No.
If I got it.
No, I'd write my own thing on there and write, what are you giving me if I give you $5?
100%.
Or, don't worry about my meal. I was going to give you $5. I'll eat beforehand.
What's the etiquette with gifts?
What do you mean?
Well, what's the etiquette? If I go to a wedding and I give $100, you would expect that person that got invited to my wedding to give me $100?
Yeah, basically something like that.
It's like that's how you would do the etiquette, isn't it?
Yeah, something like
that.
Yeah,
no, that's good.
But yeah, you just put on the thing. Like we're having a register, or if that's for gifts, here's the register information, or you put a little fucking poem for what are they? Wishing well. Yeah. That's it. Just leave it up to the guests. You don't tell them what to pay you so that they know what sort of brand of meal they're getting.
Yeah. I'm going to tell them. So that'll be good. I'll send out a poem like you said about the wishing well, and there'll be $50 entry in, so that'll go in there as well.
It's a nightclub.
You get a stamp. Stamp on your wrist.
A bracelet.
No, it is. That's
dark tubes.
You wonder how many friends that person actually has though in real life, don't you? Because
not many after that.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a ploy.
Mm-hmm.
So less people come. They don't have to pay for much people. Maybe it was like, oh well, didn't want these people in my life anyway.
What's the point of having the wedding? Just don't invite them.
Yeah, elope.
Yeah,
yes. Do something. But yeah, I thought you'd like that one since you got a wedding coming up.
Yeah, that is good. I'll actually come back to you with a menu for next week.
Beautiful. I can't wait to see that.
Right, so I'll do the price ranges and the menu on how I would do that if I was that person.
Okay.
All right. I'll have it all structured for you.
Beautiful. And I had another one for you.
Oh yes.
This is more my wheelhouse.
Mm-hmm.
You know I like to travel.
Yeah, I've said it numerous times.
Okay. Now,
yep.
I want to know, what would Smitty do?
Mm-hmm.
Because you were supposed to go to Italy early in the year for your brother's wedding.
Yes.
It didn't happen. Sucked in.
Suck shit, Benj.
I feel for you, Benji.
No, I don't.
So you were supposed to go on that. Now, I want you to imagine.
Yeah.
Because I know how I'd react to this, but I want to know if you got on the plane.
Yes.
You discover that your seat is directly in front of the toilet or beside it. And then to make matters worse, you have an infant either in front of you or behind you. So the behind one would be constantly kicking you. The one in front would be constantly crying. What does Smitty do?
So how old's the infant? Is it old enough to kick?
The one at the back's kicking you? You got two.
But can I... So the one crying in front, how old is it? Can I kick that?
No, mate, this is a baby. And you're going to Europe, so this is 16 hours, 17 hours before you change over.
So easy. So I'm really good with kids. So I would say to the lady or the man in front, I'll rock it to sleep.
Really?
So I'll rock it to sleep with a rear naked choke. Cactus. Go on. And as for those people walking out of the fucking shitter, Brent, I'd be sitting there with a Glen 20 can and say, hey, go and spray that, you pig. I couldn't afford to sit a bit closer to the front. I'm going to sit here, spray your toilet. That's what I'd do.
I bloody like that move. Now, can you get Glen 20 onto a plane?
Oh, I can get in and onto a plane, Brent.
In that beard, you bloody could.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't. I'm surprised you didn't fly into the World Trade Center. Fuck me.
Oh, no, you didn't. That didn't happen. Fuck, that's too soon.
Oh
Jeepers.
no, but like, mate,
I don't know how I deal with that, honestly.
I've,
How do you deal with that? Because I will travel again one day, and I've never done that sort of thing. How have you done this before?
I've copped that on a flight to the Gold Coast.
So
The toilet situation.
So I would never sit there.
Last row with the toilet.
Why did you do that?
And you just constantly hear it flushing.
Why on earth would you be sitting? You
I didn't
1A.
do that, mate. No, I got this.
Dude, you've got your own helicopter.
1A.
You've got a recliner. Hey.
1A.
You're talking.
I've got a capsule. I've got my own bed.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I like the play. I like the rear naked choke on the baby, and I like the Glen 20 spray on everyone that visits the toilet. I think that's worthy of a. Maybe the airlines need to introduce that sort of behaviour.
I don't know how they go with a rear naked choke on a baby.
Look, it just puts him to sleep, cuts the blood flow for a second, puts him to sleep for a bit.
And when the mum or dad cracks it, you just go, didn't tap. All I had to do was tap and I would have let go. My fault it's 6 months old.
Didn't tap.
Mr. Socko, maybe? I could have put Mr. Socko on Brent. Pah, like the anaconda in the face. Anyway.
Wow.
No, that's good.
Yeah, no, I like it.
Happy
I
days.
like picking your brain on those sorts of matters. It's good.
And we should,
in-depth look of the mind of Chris.
I'll tell you what, though. I'm going to come at you with one next time now.
Right.
I'll put you in a situation to see.
Put me in the spotlight.
Spot on.
I've been in a lot of situations, mate, so I think I'll know how to handle most.
Would you? What would you do then?
In what situation?
So let's go with the shitter one. What would you do?
The shitter?
Yeah, because you said you sat in front of the toilet.
Oh, I had to grin and bear that one. Now,
that's shit, boy.
I haven't actually. It's a pretty easy choice, actually. First class, baby.
Is that a boy?
We just booked first class next time, mate. That's it. Upgrade us. Boom.
Have you had the baby situation?
I've had a crying baby, but only on short trips to Gold Coast or Sydney, things like that.
Can you hear him with the headphones in if you're watching the TV?
Oh, yeah, mate. Yeah.
You still hear him?
Yeah. But I'll tell you what one I'm very familiar with, the behind the back kicking. I've actually experienced this.
Yes.
And I've dealt with this swiftly.
Yes.
Do you want to know? Do? Right. Okay.
It want to be an ankle lock coming up.
No, it ain't an ankle lock, mate. This kid's kicking the shit out of my chair constantly. Right? Yeah. And you know how between your chairs you got a little gap. You can just look back there and see what's going on. Yeah. So I look back. Size this kid up. And first of all, I can take him. Second of all, he's about 7 years old.
So he's a little bit bigger than you.
Just probably got me 3 inches and 2-inch reach advantage. So I'm going to pretend to turn around here and then glance back with my move to stop this.
This is going to be good for the Spotify listeners.
Isn't it? Real good visual. Right, so I've got my back here. Kid's kicking me back, right? I'm trying to eat me fucking shit airplane foot. Right? I just turn around and give him one of these ones. First of all, I do a hard push into the back of the chair, and I turn with one of these ones. Just a solid 15-second stare down. Mate. Yep. Then you know what happens? I have the fucking crying situation.
Oh, bang!
That's what happens. Bang. So double banger, mate. My own worst enemy.
Yeah. Happy days. But at least he didn't kick you after that.
No, that's right. And I put the fear of God into this child. His face, his demeanour just dropped. Went from happy little innocent child to just terrorised. Didn't want to be on the plane.
Well, what you could have done is just turn around and played Lego with him.
Hey, that's
Or
not
would
a
have been
bad.
forgiven.
That's not a bad move. Maybe that's what happens next time.
100%.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
Show him how to do jigsaws.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, he could show you because I know you're battling with your one and home from Charles.
No, I finished that, mate. Come on.
It only took 6 months. That's good.
It says
Andy said you've been ringing in sick to sit at home and do it. He actually threatened Charles.
Oh, mate, I haven't had it.
Jigsaws for Brent. He's not turned up to work.
He's taking a piss. I haven't had a sick day in 14 years, mate. I'll work with a broken collarbone. Come on now. One-handed gunslinger with one arm, mate.
You should have turned your body with that collarbone injury, though.
Probably should.
Wasn't the bloke that kicked it?
No, yeah. The Yeoman medalist, 30 disposals, 28 of them along the ground, but that's all
right. Okay, let's watch the video again. Let's watch it again.
Yeah, no, the only thing that's on the ground in that video is me.
I love it. Love it.
Oh, bloody hell. I want to get your tips.
For the footy?
Yep.
Righto, what are we starting with?
Port Geelong, Thursday night.
A genuine 50-50 for me. I think Geelong, I don't know how much I trust Port.
Right.
Yep. 10th last year, top of the ladder this year.
Yeah.
Didn't have to. We're in their bet a lot this year. We're in their bet a lot. They had a good little run going where they didn't have to really leave their state for a few weeks and stuff.
Yeah.
I think Geelong
just got me. They got me a bit offside with their last couple of weeks, but maybe the rest will do them good. A couple of those injured boys get back to 100%.
So it's really hard too, Brent, because for the last, like we've spoken about though, the last 5-6 years, Geelong have done this.
Yeah, they fall at the hurdle.
Year out.
Yeah,
they do. But I'm going to give them one last crack. I think that they can win. Ablett.
Boy, he turned back the clock, didn't he? Not one waste, and that's the thing. Not one wasted possession. Every possession of his was just forward.
100%.
He had 2 goal assists. Listen to this stat. Kicked the goal.
Okay. Yes.
Kicked the goal.
Kicked 2 goals, I think.
He kicked 1.
Okay.
He had 2 goal assists.
Yes.
And all up, he had 7 goal involvements. They only kicked 9 goals.
It's amazing, isn't it?
And he had 16 touches. So 50% of his touches basically resulted in a goal.
And he's announced that this is it. So I just think people like him, it's going to be just everything on the line. There'll be nothing held back. So I'm going to go Geelong, and hopefully they can. I want him to go out with a flag, mate. So.
Yeah, I do too. I think Port might just pip him in a thriller.
Okay, next game, Brisbane Richmond.
Yes, Friday night, Gabba.
I'm going the Lions.
You are.
I'm going the Lions.
Right, so you're going the underdogs. I'm sticking with the Tigers because I just think they've got Brisbane. They're their bunny at the moment, and I don't think this is the time that the Brisbane are going to upset them.
So you know what's fascinating? You've told me I'm going for the underdogs, and the 2 teams I've picked finished first and second.
I know. How crazy is that?
That's staggering, isn't it?
It is.
Staggering. So, yeah, I think the Lions can get it done. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Geelong finished 4th, but anyway.
Yeah. Did I pick Geelong?
You picked Geelong. Yeah. Anyway, but half of your stat was right.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, good chat.
Is the next game Bulldogs Saints? Is that the next one?
Doggies 40+.
Where's that being played at?
Gabba. I don't know.
I like the Saints. Yeah. I like their game, but I haven't seen them play enough hard comp the last few weeks.
But Bulldogs have only won 1 game this year against a top 8 side.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. You're both sort of at the same level, and I like St Kilda's contested ball a lot more. I think he's a very good contested team. I know the Bulldogs are as well, but you've got a few more options up forward as well.
We definitely do. Josh Bruce is shit for them, and Norton may be out. So
I think
we need to be on.
I'm going with the Saints for you. I want the Saints to get up. And
thank you, mate.
My fucking mate Dan Andrews bags for Bulldogs, so I hope they lose.
Same. I sort of hope they win so he can't go out for grand final day.
That's another good point. Bloody hell. I'm with you there.
Fucking.
4th game.
And then West Coast Collingwood. Now, this is the one. I'm backing Collingwood.
I am as well. I'm on you. I am as well. I was disappointed with some of their play the other night because they could have won that game.
They could have won that game.
If not for just a few little
mistakes.
Yeah, a few little tinkerings here and there. And like we discussed earlier, and they would have won that game. I think if Collingwood could be more daring and direct into the forward line, they can definitely win. They have a good track record in Perth.
They're the best travelling side that are in the comp now, other than Richmond.
Yeah, so they have a very good track record in Perth, and West Coast have been wobbly the last month.
I think so as well. And people say they've had a lot out, but that's not an excuse for me because you've still had a 12 grand final players in your side. So that's enough for me. Richmond had a lot out too, and they just...
And Yo's out.
Yo's out. Massive out. Shuey's come back for the first game in a month. So anything could happen. He could do a hammy again. McGovern hasn't played for a month.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going with the Pies in an upset there.
Pies. So there we go. There we have it.
Yeah, I've got...
What do you got?
Port, Richmond, St Kilda, Collingwood.
Yes, and I've got Geelong, Brisbane, Bulldogs, and Collingwood.
You're not backing the Saints.
No, I am.
Your heart is, but your head's not.
I have no confidence. It'd be like if Essendon were playing Brent and I picked Essendon. You'd be sitting there going, nah, because we'll choke because we're Essendon.
Yeah, but let's be honest. That situation wouldn't come up because we won't make the fucking finals, mate. We need to do a North and fuck them all off.
So, just quickly before we wrap all this up.
And Rutten while we're at it.
How are North going to field a side next year?
Well...
They've just listed 11.
I didn't want to break the news to you, but apparently there's been a clean out at the Kookaburras. Reece Shaw's come knocking, mate.
Kookaburras are flying.
No, literally. That's what they do.
Very good by you. I didn't even mean to say that.
So, in your, do you know what's the theme song for the Cookers?
We're not going to go there.
Why? What is it? I actually don't know what it is. Song. Yeah, is it affiliated with any AFL side or?
Can't tell you. You'll have to come down and sing it with me.
I'll just Google it.
Don't be like that. Come and sing it with me.
Oh, okay. I hope to see you win a game.
Surely you play one game next year at the Kookaburras against Sky.
Does it have a cackle in it?
It's Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree.
It can't be.
It's
Kookaburra sits in the forward line. What the fuck?
Love it.
Yeah, no, mate. Look, I'm retired, mate.
You haven't though. We'll beat up on Paul Martin. Let's beat up on Paul Martin.
Poz is trying to get me back into the thirds.
I'll defriend you.
I don't really want to go and win a league BNF off 2 games. So.
Easy thing to do, mate. I've done it before. Anyway. Happy days. All
right, mate. You got anything else for me?
Righto. So what I'm going to start doing is leave you with a bit of advice for the week, all right, for all our listeners. Although this could probably be a two-day thing because there's every chance we'll be back on Saturday. Now,
is this advice, philosophy, or wisdom?
It's all the above. So what I've sort of come up with is no one is perfect. That is why pencils have erasers. So just keep that in mind.
Nice.
Do something today that will make your future self thank you for.
Yeah, I like that one.
It could be worse. And just know when to give up and what time it is to have a bourbon. Hello?
Yeah, okay. So when I asked you before you started that, if any of this was wisdom or good advice, you said all of the above.
No, it is 100%. That was amazing.
Can you put a disclaimer on this before you do it?
What does that mean?
That means I want you to put before you say this shit is I've got some dumb shit for you.
I thought that was terrific.
I like the pencil eraser one.
Yeah, no one is perfect. That's why pencils have erasers.
Yeah, I like that.
Erasers.
And I would have stuck with that when you were up
Do
here.
something today that will make your future self say thank you for. So that's like you going for a run this morning. See how I did that? You go for a run this morning, your future self won't be looking at the mirror going, geez, I look like Jim Bob. You're like, bang, I look like Brent. That's a good one. And
If you say so, mate.
shit could be worse. Just everyone remember that. You could be Dan Andrews.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay? And just know when to give up and go and have a bourbon.
Oh, no, I think your message should be not give up.
Nah, give the fuck up. That's the time we live in, Brent.
Oh,
give it up.
Yeah, thanks to our old mate Bumper.
Good on you, Willie Bumper.
Willie Bumper, bumping into walls, bumping into couches, bumping into toilets because he had one.
Happy
leg.
days.
I love it.
And I've also got for the next episode, I've got a couple of shout outs for we're gonna introduce some people.
Right. Okay.
I should have spoken about this with you. I don't really know what I'm saying, but I just want to broaden the horizon away from Greenie and Whiskers.
Yeah,
So let's start.
Yeah. Well, I think the listeners that do listen often deserve to hear about Danny Green's gambling woes.
No, that's staying because he's a wanker.
He's just pathetic.
And it's us venting more than anything. So it's us venting. So that stays. But let's really why don't we get stuck into a bit of Cooey Rupp time and do our favourite moments about Cooey Rupp and our favourite people from Cooey?
Okay, right. Yeah. We need Paulie Martin on here for a day.
He doesn't fit in the screen.
True.
We need that's a Spotify one at home when no one's around because his head won't get in that square thing. Old bobblehead Martin.
Yeah, fucking big cubic head.
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
We've got Connor lined up for when we come. That'll be good. So
yeah, that'll have to be a live one.
And we're going to branch out.
We are.
All of us sitting in a van, me, you, and Dan. That'll be good.
Kicking a can.
Looking forward to it. Fucking looking forward to it.
Kicking a can with Brent, Chris, and Dan.
Oh, Jesus. I could have come up with something far better than that. There was a van, wasn't there? Oh, you've changed it to kicking a can. No, so you had everything. You could have said, just sitting here having a can with Smitty, Brent, and Dan. But you went with, let's decorate our wall.
That's not bad. You've just nailed it.
100% I haven't.
Having a can with, what was it? Smitty, Chris, and Dan? No, you're Chris and Smitty.
Yeah, I am. Brent, Smitty, and Dan. Okay. And instead, I've ordered on eBay some van part to come across my wall here because that was your stupid idea. Leave the shit to me, guys.
What about the no Brent, Chris, and Dan with the plan, or the plan with Brent, Chris, and Dan? That's not bad.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll come up with a new heading for us because used to have fucking lost the plot. Used to have lost. Let's be honest. Used to.
Not impressed.
What about just 18 legs with Smitty, Dan, and with Brent and Dan? 18 legs with Smitty, Brent, and Dan.
6 legs because we've all got 2 legs each.
But that's not. That's the pun is the gambling thing, Brent. Why the fuck do we care that we got 6? Billy. Let's get Billy and we'll make it 7. Is that his name?
Who's Billy?
William the Bumper.
Willie Bumper.
Yes. Yeah. We need someone with half a leg.
Well, technically, you.
Goodbye, Brent.
See you, mate, on that.
Happy days. Yes.
Wrap it up, son.
Thanks for listening to the BXxchange. Hope you enjoyed the episode. I think we've been up and about. I think we nailed a few things. You all right, mate? You're looking around and.
I'm just happy with our work today, mate.
Heck, Dad, he's smoking a pipe.
I'm just happy with our work today, mate. I think that hit the wheelhouse in all the right spots.
I would have thought so. That's not a saying, no. But anyway, that hit the wheelhouse with a lot of spots. And there you go. And on that note, Whizzer, executive producer, go and fuck yourself.
Boom, boom, boom.
Boom. Hey, mate.